And Bobber Libby Amos and photographer Riccardo Montgomery were both on the boat.
We're going to take a look across the street if we can, Riccardo. We're going to pull right over here again. We are just east of the Mississippi line where if you take...
Picking up the pieces is right, Bob. I've been in northern Alabama since this past weekend, and
thankfully no one was seriously hurt in today's tornado, and someone that's been here all morning and all day with us is Renee Dials. And Renee, it is a much...
Photojournalist Riccardo Montgomery and I started walking through the ravaged neighborhood.
We knocked on Dana Stiegel's door and no one answered, but we turned around and that's when we saw him pulling into the driveway. Initially, we weren't welcomed.
Who are you, sir? Don't worry about who I am. Get the out of the yard.
But Stiegel finally calmed down and gave his thoughts about House Bill 51. If passed, the bill would make indecent exposure a felony and increase jail time for those found guilty 3 times or more. People like Dana Stiegel.
Tell me this. I mean, you have flashed people before.
That's correct.
Why did you flash those people?
It like started out like fun, like on the beach.
Stiegel says that fun turned into an addiction, but when his problem got out of control, he wanted the court to get him psychological help.
I tried to volunteer for therapy and everything back years ago when I first started going through this stuff.
Did it work?
No, I was denied. The judges up in Bay Minette, all they agree is, their therapy is put you off in jail as long as you can go. That's their basic therapy on it. I had to get my own therapy through God and praying.
State Representative Jim Barden is sponsoring the felony bill. He doesn't think rehabilitation is the best option.
We're $740 million short in general fund budget. We just don't have the funds to do it at this point.
The legislation must still be voted on by the House of Representatives, and there's no word yet on when that will happen. Meanwhile, Stiegel says he is working to change his behavior.
You're not going to do this again?
No.
You promised me that.
I promise you that.
Some say this Tolmanville cemetery has been forgotten, and by the looks of things, it has. Graves are exposed and headstones overturned. Someone who hasn't forgotten, June Gordon. Her mother is buried here.
Just makes me feel, kind of bad inside, makes me feel like she thinks maybe, that I don't love her or don't care about her.
We had trouble finding the graveyard. It's buried in a thick of trees, briars, and bushes. This is a Google map of the cemetery off Osage. You can see nothing but woods. This is the road that leads back to the cemetery, but as you can see, it is all overgrown. So some people with no other choice have left their flowers here. 2 area residents showed us one way into the cemetery by foot, and they say it didn't always look this bad.
No. Well, when we was younger, it didn't.
It was nice, real clean.
Yeah, 'cause like I said, we used to, come back here and hide out and whatever and play. Yeah, plum trees and all that back here.
Gordon hopes someone can help her.
I feel lost, like somebody owns it. Somebody knows the person that owns it. But nope, it's like I keep hitting these blocks, So if somebody would just help me find out who owns it and whose responsibility it is to get it cleaned up.
Gordon says she will take care of her mother. She just needs someone else to clear a path so she can get to her. In Tolmanville, April Douglas, Fox 10 News.
Our crew left the marina in search of snapper. Captain Ralph Young had the coordinates of several structures in the Gulf mapped out for us to fish.
Well, the structure is habitat for bait, which the bait draws the larger fish to it. So this, getting over the structure is how we catch the fish.
All right, let them down.
During the earlier part of the morning, our crew caught several triggerfish that were at least 14 inches long, making them big enough to keep. But as the day went on, we slowly started to find what we were fishing for.
Big snappers.
Well, today we've been using cigar minnows, squid. We're not using any live bait, and using circle hooks because that's mandated.
Got something a little bit better.
In about 100 feet of water, we found snapper right along the bottom.
Therefore,
the fish started hitting our bait, and within minutes, the crew had 4 fish on at one time. We tried a few more times in that spot and then headed to another. So far, everyone on the boat had a snapper in the box except me. But that didn't last too long.
Good snapper?
Good job. Nice work.
All right. Once the fish started biting, it didn't take the crew too long to fill the fish box with our limit, 12 snapper, at 2 per angler. Captain Young, like most other fishermen, wishes that limit was higher.
Well, we certainly have an abundance of fish. I'm not a biologist, but I would like to see the limits. If we can't keep any more fish, then extend the length of time that we get to fish. 48 days, it's a pretty short season. There's a lot of people depending on this to make their summer, make their living.
For our crew, day 1 of snapper season was successful, to say the least. Reporting in Orange Beach, Libby Amos, Fox 10 News.
I heard that Chicago lost last night. That's what Riccardo, the cameraman right here, and look how
Riccardo?
sad he looks.
Riccardo says, yes, it's sad.
Anybody?
Ready? I'll hold it. Riccardo's going to help.
Riccardo's going to help. Very good, very good.
Well, I guess we didn't see Riccardo in that shot because he was the one taking the picture.